Hooray! We managed to get this signal out despite, well, it's just the gremlins really. Not really even the gremlins, just by inexperience dealing with the YouTube streaming interface and finding all the different switches you have to find in order to make the stream go. It's so much easier on Twitch, I have to say, because all you do is put your stream key in and hit stream on OBS, and that makes it happen. There aren't several different things you have to line up and set up and press the button for and make sure are selected on the right option on the drop down. I'm an old man, okay? I'm showing it tonight. It's like someone complaining.
New things are scary.
Get off my digital lawn.
Well, it's just
we're just okay boomers is all.
It's just unnecessarily complicated, okay? There don't need to be that many go switches to make it work. Okay, but we're here. I made it work. I found all the buttons and the switches, and the stream is happening. So thank goodness, and we're back after, this is the last time we're gonna have a 2-week gap in between our episodes until the end, I think, unless something comes up. So I'm excited to have you all here. Let's give a quick rundown of introductions. I'll start with myself. My name is Clifton. I'm the GM for this campaign, and excited to be here. Founding member of the Shadowcasters network, and I actually got to write for Mechwarrior Destiny, but some of you may know me for my podcasting as Mr. Johnson of the Arcology, Legends of Earth Dawn, and some other stuff. Who wants to go next? We'll go with Trav. Welcome, Trav.
Hello again. I am Traveler Farlander. You can find me on Twitter at TWFarlan, where I have opinions about things on the net because I'm perpetually online. And I'm here tonight to shoot some things, hopefully.
I gotta say that mech cockpit that you're in is looking pretty badass.
Right.
I gotta get me one of those.
I found this one in a cache. So, you got...
Also joining us is Cade, another one of our players today. Welcome, Cade. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent. I'm just happy to be here. You can find me on Twitter at Mech Texas, where again I spend too much time online, screaming into the void and just having a good time. It's just a good day to play some Mechwarrior.
Hey, Cliff Palmer says you might want to bump your audio, by the way.
All right, my audio is in from my voice.
Yeah, your voice.
Yeah, he says you're quieter than the rest.
All right, let me see if I can find a way to boost that here, because it's give me a sec.
One and a half times 2 is 3, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I know where I'm spending the rest of my experience.
I've given myself a 3 decibel gain boost. We'll see how that goes. I don't want to do too much at once, but let me know how that works. That's one of the drawbacks of this mic. I really should have another dedicated microphone preamp to boost this thing for its full potential, but I don't have one of those right now. It's just plugged right in my interface, and I've got the volume cranked up all the way, or the gain knob, I should say. But yeah, I've got the option to add the gain as a filter within OBS, so hopefully that offsets it for everyone. Well, it won't offset you for the Discord call, so I hope you all as players can understand me just fine.
Oh yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Yep.
Or I
Yeah,
can't.
absolutely.
Can't speak for the others.
But Evie, you can.
I guess that's my time for introduction, isn't it?
Yeah, so welcome. Also joining us is Ava Rogers, playing Finn, our light mech pilot and technician.
Yep, I'm Ava Rogers. You can find me primarily on Twitter at ThatNerdyWriter, which probably tells you a lot about the content I post there. I write, so you can find me there yelling a lot of times about how stupid the English language is, and also various questions on storytelling. And sometimes I just toss ideas out into the void. I hope will apologize right now ahead of time if I am a little out of it today. I think I'm getting sick.
I don't know. I hope it's brief and light, whatever it is.
Oh, me too.
Correct.
Well, here we are for our 4th episode. I think we'll start things with a little bit of a recap, and then the first 3 episodes of this have all sort of been the same adventure. That was quite a trilogy, I should say. So let's do a little bit of a recap about that. But this will also be your first chance to spend some experience points, and we'll touch on what you might have spent some of those on. I've decided a little bit on a house rule that I'm going to restrict hardware points as something that you cannot just buy with experience points. There'll be some other separate award based on stuff that happens in the game, I think, rather than just letting you spend experience points and, oh, hey, guess what? I have a heavy mech all of a sudden, too. There are definitely cases where that would make sense, but this is not a campaign where it would, I think. So that'll be my my addition of a little bit of a house ruling for this campaign for spending experience points. But on the other side of the recap, let's find out what you spent them on. But first of all, let's just go over a little bit briefly about what happened in our first 3 episodes, because it was a lot. I'll start with setting the stage. We're out in the periphery in Medgar's Folly. It's did we pick an exact year? It's 3020 something, right? I want to say 3027 might be the year we picked. I don't know. It's not important. The main important thing is it's well before the clans showed up. This is the time of
The who?
of hot mechs, hot and as in like they don't have double heat sinks and hot. Yeah, mechs are hot and scarce in this setting, especially out on the periphery, where planets such as this one are ruled by the strongest warlord pirate leaders that can call themselves Baron or whatever. And this particular planet is sort of strangely partially terraformed, and on the edge of some of the more habitable portions of it is a town called Medgar's Folly, which is actually a very profitable mining location for lots of different minerals that are needed and used. But that's probably been disrupted because, our players have gotten involved and kicked the crap out of the pirates that happen to be putting their boots on the throats of this particular village. So why don't you just quickly give us a rundown on how that went down. Eva, you want to go first?
On how it went down?
Sure. Yeah, how did this whole mess start?
We snuck into the military base, using Finn's knowledge of the, layout. This is where she works. And snuck our way into a Star League era cache, more or less.
Yeah, let Trav pick up from there. He's the one who had the tip or the lead on there being something unusual and unknown or perhaps undiscovered within the pirate military base.
Yeah, having found and gotten through a somewhat hidden door, we discovered it was there was a cache back there is one way of putting it, although it was a lot more than I think any of us expected to find. It seemed to be more like a whole base with tram systems and, unfortunately, very active anti-personnel security systems that were still up and running, including a heavy war droid, security droid that was coming after us, which we caught up to us. Yeah, just about the time we were finding a very expected by me but unexpected by everybody else treasure of the Star League era in a lone mech bay.
Yeah, and you were able to deploy to power up and deploy this pristine Marauder. out onto the mountainside to attempt to repel the returning pirate forces. The pirate leader Ham Cheese, as you call him, or Hammer, as he prefers to be called with his call sign, showed up. You were able to fight him off. That that was a really fantastic course of events, and I'm just gonna say you all need to check out. What was that, episode 2, I think, where that happened?
That was 2.
Yeah.
Just go watch that if you haven't already. I don't want to spoil that. It was one of the best series of dice rolls.
Deserves a
I've seen.
chef's kiss.
A lot of luck involved. But yeah, good.
Yeah, with that held, why don't John Texas Crow, Cade, why don't you tell me how John Texas Crow and Finn within the base managed to get a hold of things and finish off the adventure.
Yeah, while Ian went outside with the Marauder doing anime exploits in grand fashion, Finn and I were slogging through the base. We had a couple of shootouts, slug outs. We ended up, I'm covered in, we were able to get into our mechs. Finn has a really upset pilot because she stole her mech out from the rightful pirate owner, and she's pretty upset now. And now we got out of the base, and I'm covered in beer from a shootout in a bar, and I'm in puke from a neurofeedback incident. But I'm in a Phoenix Hawk mech, and I'm having the best day of my life right now. So we were able to kind of clear out the base, and we've kind of got our firepower assembled, and we're ready to go have some action now.
Yeah, and the adventure ended with you all each acquiring a mech and becoming worthy of the title Mechwarrior. Some of you might have been that before in your lives, and for others of you, this is the first time actually getting a chance to strap into a cockpit for real, instead of the simulator pods that you've stashed away and been practicing in your off time. That would be Finn, by the way.
Yeah.
And with that, yeah, the loyalist pirate forces that were still here managed to slip away and make a break for it with some of these smaller vehicles, and leaving you in possession of this, well, rather somewhat damaged, heavily neglected from maintenance, pretty rough shape base that is also the gateway and entrance to this larger Star League facility with an unusual apparent artificial intelligence interface, and the threat of potential pirate retaliation. And also, I wonder what the people in the town think about what happened. So we'll touch on some of those things. After getting in your mechs, we'll decide what the first courses of action you do and kind of jump in the action here, but I do want to find out how you spent those experience points. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
I'll go.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
I bumped my reflexes up by 1 because, frankly, it was kind of embarrassing missing as many shots as I was. So that's
it's
what I did.
all in the reflexes.
Yeah.
All right.
All mine. Very good.
All right. What about you, John Texas Crow?
John Texas Crow kind of thought about it and thought about all those times when we really needed to just intimidate people. And he realized that he wasn't coming across as intimidating as he should, and so he wanted to pick up some intimidation ability. So we added that, and also thought about how lucky it was. There was one time where he was going to take a shot, and just the luck just kind of came through in the form of making the GM reroll dice. And I thought, that's something that we need to do again. So John Texas has spent some points into raising the edge from 1 to 2 on this as well. So picked up 1 point of intimidate and then 1 point on edge.
You're measurably twice as lucky as you used to be. Twice as lucky as I used to be. That's got to be a John Texas Crow song, I think.
That's hey, we're performing tonight at 11, so bring your friends.
Sorry, I'm jotting that down in case I ever do something with it.
I am too.
All right. And then,
In case you decide to make a soundtrack for this game.
You know, I just might. Speaking of soundtrack, I mean, I do have a bunch of music composed that I'm using as the soundtrack for the stream, which is really neat. That I think that I've hit enough points that I've recorded enough parts to actually fill that role out. Though adding more to it is always going to be a good thing. So maybe I do need a little bit more BattleTech country in the playlist. How about Finn? You have some experience points. I think you mentioned a particular new skill you were picking up because that seemed like it would come in handy.
Yes, she has picked up a rank in computers after dealing with the AI in the base. I figured that was an oversight in her education, such as it was. And she got some actually pretty good rolls there for not being trained in computers. So I was like, that makes sense. And I increased her willpower because I realized a 1 in strength and willpower, when both of those, determine your condition monitors, was probably not a good call. So I bumped her willpower a little bit.
Yeah, nice to see those experience points seem to be going a long way, especially early on with the character creation. So.
Oh, yes.
It'd be nice to see how that progresses as well. We have at least 3 episodes remaining, counting this one, as many as 5. I think, honestly, we're probably leaning on the longer end of that, but we'll see how things go. So far, it's been a lot of fun. I look forward to continuing. So let's dive on in with... I'm going to let one of the players choose the starting scene here. Where are we at, and what are your characters attempting to do? This could be relating to dealing with the base and the mess that it's in, and potentially preparing for what might come, or discovering what mysteries you want to find out, or understanding more about it, or maybe just getting your mechs fixed. Or it might be about in town, trying to figure out where the people of Medgar's Folly stand on reacting to the situation that you've put them in.
Cade, I want to say, had an idea for a flashback moment for how we came together and ended up in this situation in the first place.
Yeah, I think it would be great to, and I'll give you a plot point if you want to, if we can go back and kind of just do the regroup and we jumped in right in the middle of everything to and talk about how we got together and why we did what we did in the first place, which would as all great adventures do, they start in a tavern or a bar, of course.
That sounds great. I don't think I'll have you pay a plot point for that, and I'll just remind you that you each start the session with 4 here. So.
Oh, good. I was going to ask to make sure I had that written down right. Perfect.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, we'll start with the bar. What was the name of this bar? I don't have it in front of me here.
I don't know that we ever...
Did we have one?
I think it was something that one of you was defining in our early Session 0 stuff. But maybe that was something that I tossed to our would-be 4th player that never joined
I
us.
think that's correct.
I'm going to venture that the name of this place is Max.
Okay.
Max.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, and Mac is the original owner of the place, and that's people just happen to call the bartender anyway here, so
yeah.
Whoever happens to be working, but so there are a few Macs, but
no matter who's behind the bar, it's Mac.
Right, it's kind of a tradition thing, but it's basically a kind of a small dive that one of the reasons why it's been in business for so long is because it generally kind of lays low and doesn't seem like a place where the pirate goons want to come smash things and beat people up when they're drunk. That means being kind of crummy and not having the best drinks or food or the cleanest tables or the best service. But that also means not having to deal with the pirates as often. So you're at that place. What's John Texas Crow doing in the bar?
I'm on the stage, and I play gigs here a few times a week, just kind of going through here. They pay me in beer, and I get a place to crash, and I'm happy with that. So, or as happy as I'm going to be. So I'm up on the stage and just playing and doing my normal thing there, playing my. And I'll have John Texas Crow plays both kinds of music, both country and western. So we're putting on a good show.
At a nearby table, kind of sitting and co-conspirating, as it were, would be Finn and Ian Warden. Then I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of huddled over a couple of drinks, having been chatting a little bit about the potential opportunity with the knowledge that Ian Warden has and the familiarity with the location that Finn has, but it seems like maybe it's not very viable of an action yet.
The entire place is just trashed. I mean, it's just random stuff put up.
Yeah. I mean, half of the walls we have inside are just kind of piled of junk, more or less. It's a warren inside.
And you've never seen either a recessed looking door or even a big kind of weird slider that looks heavier. Everything just looks like wall. I mean,
if there was anything higher tech, I would have made note of it.
So John Texas Crow is about halfway through the guitar solo and the bridge of his song "As Happy as I'm Gonna Be," when the power dips out and the aux lights come on for a moment. Mac behind the bar says, just give me a minute, maybe 5 minutes, as he goes back around to the generator.
Need any help, Mac?
No, I
just rolled. I'm rolling for my performance to see how well this gig is going, and I got an 11. I don't know if you want to roll against that.
11. That's decent for kind of an easy set, fairly low stakes. So I mean, you're not maybe giving off the best performance you've ever given, but you're also not singing off key either, or forgetting the words.
Yeah.
The question is whether or not the crowd actually cares to pay attention.
Right. I look out, and the crowd is a little bit indifferent anyway. So instead of getting really upset and furious about it, I put down my equipment and go over and grab my beer and I'm going to take a little break and see if I can get through this set. And that's when I look over and there's something about Ian. I've seen this look before, and I see that look over there, and I'm going to make my way over that table because he has the look of a mech warrior, and I came out of that life, and let's see what's going on.
Okay, you go and turn towards their table. And that's when the door swings open and a couple of rowdy voices are just like, let's try this place out anyway. Look over, hey, where's the bartender? Bartender! And you look over and you can see there's two of the pirate thugs who have wandered into this place, getting sullen glares from everyone here, but they all know better than to get in their way. And the one that's not yelling is actually someone very familiar to some of you. It's his last name is Richter. It's Bradley Richter, and he's one of the Mechwarriors. The loud fellow with him is one of the infantry goons, the basic foot soldier grunts.
I'll yell back. I'll look over there, and since Mac is is gone from behind the bar, I'll yell over at him and tell him, "Don't get your bandanas in a wad. I'll help you out." And I'll go back behind the bar and help him.
All right, they let's see, the loud and boisterous one who goes by the name of Raster. He moves up to the bar and says, "Yeah, get us a couple of drinks and make it quick." And the other one.
I only got one speed, mister. I'll start getting whatever's on the house draft there.
There's essentially these big old kegs that Mac cycles out. He kind of brews his own stuff for the most part that is provided to the locals. It's definitely not the best beer, but it's also not something that that gets interfered with as much. But so you go ahead and pour a couple of beers as Richter looks around and sort of eyes settle on Finn. Starts for a moment. Oh, and he starts to walk over to your table. Oh, Finn, didn't expect to see you here. Didn't know we gave you time to drink.
And Finn is frozen.
So we'll cut to Raster over at the bar, taking the drinks. He turns and turns back over to John Texas Crow, and reaches over to grab your hat off your head. Just picks it up and puts it on his own head. Thanks.
Now.
He takes the beers and starts to turn away from you.
Oh, at this point, I'm gonna lean forward and say, I don't think anyone ever told you the rules, son, but you're about to learn some.
Room gets a bit quiet. Even Richter sort of stops and turns. It's rather still. And Raster turns around with the 2 drinks and gives you a look. Maybe he's noticing you for the first time. What? Rules? You stupid? You know who you're talking to?
Well,
I know our faces
I could. Yeah. I wonder. I guess I could take a guess of who I'm talking to right now, because all I know is that anyone that takes that Wanko Ranger hat and puts it on their head is aiming to wind up as a permanent fixture in this bar.
He sort of looks you up and down and seems to consider for a moment, nods a bit, sets down the drinks, picks up the hat, turns it around to look at it. Waco Ranger hat. Neat. I've always wanted one of those. And he crumples it under his armpit. And then reaches down to scoop up the 2 mugs with one hand.
Sorry about that.
Well.
And then looks down. He says, never mind. He takes the hat and tosses it back, flicks it back towards the bar. I don't need to carry around trash like this.
Are you saying that my Waco Rangers are trash?
He leans forward. What if I was?
Hey, over at the table, is Brad turning to listen to all this?
Yeah, he's watching with rapt attention. He's kind of turned half away from your table and not really paying any mind to Finn or Ian at the moment. Just kind of folded his arms and he's got this smile on his face, anticipating what's about to happen.
I'm gonna look over at his over at Rat, at Richter, and say, you want to call off your dog, or you want me to put him down?
And that's the moment where you have basically 2 large beer mugs smashed or flying towards your face. So let's just do reflexes, combat and reflexes skill roll rather than a full combat here. I just want to see how this swing goes.
Yeah,
this person's like pretty big and known for beating people up, so it's not going to be easy.
Okay, so Okay, it's 2 reflex. Is that right?
Yeah, it would
reflex times 2.
In this case, it's actually a close combat plus reflexes roll, because we're just using it as a
close combat plus reflexes
for a narrative
All
rather
right.
than just a standard combat plus defense roll. I'm not going to resolve a giant bar brawl.
I got a 9 on that roll.
All right. Well, you were looking at a 17, so sort of the last thing you remember is saying what you said, and then there are beer mugs just smashed in your face. One of them was ceramic and shatters. The other one was like tin, so it's like folded inward, and the beer goes flying and it's tossed on you. And then he goes to like pick you up and beat the shit out of you more while you're unconscious. And that's when, does anyone step in to do anything?
Yeah, I'm actually going to, sitting in the booth that I'm in, or the chair that I'm in, with Brad looking the other way, I'm just going to pull my pistol and put it right in the middle of his back. And then say, as I'm prodding him with it, you want to call him off? We're trying to have a drink here.
Don't wrap me into this.
He kind of looks down.
I'll be taking.
Jesus, put that thing away. He yells over. Hey, Raster, put him down. Come on. You spilled the drinks all over the goddamn place. What the hell are you doing? They ran out of beer at the last place. What do you just... and now you knocked out the bar. What are we gonna do now? And he starts to like, what? You hear what he said? It was being really rude. We can't let people talk down to us like that, or they'll start getting uppity.
Hey, buddy. Here's an idea. Go. Nobody gives a crap, actually, if you guys just go.
And with that, Raster sort of pulls out this huge ass knife, steps forward, and just chunks it into the chunks. Oh, whatever. It's a real big music. Chunks it into the sort of side of the homemade keg, and he kind of pulls it down a bit, and just some beer sprays out, and then just starts to pour down onto the ground. Most of it onto the unconscious form of John Texas Crow.
I'm sensing a theme here.
And he turns around, and Richter just sort of turns and shrugs. It's what happens when you mess with us. And they go wandering out of the bar.
So I wake up.
Comes back in. What happened?
I wake up with basically
again.
I have the imprint of an Atlas head, because that was the mug that hit me from this side. Had the face of an Atlas on it, and so I've got that on this side of my face, and just a big whelp on this side of the face, and I kind of come to covered in beer, and I just look around and puke on myself. I'm thinking, well, it's a Tuesday night.
What are you doing behind the bar, John?
I was trying to help out. Those pirates came in and they took my hat, Mac. They took my hat.
It's right there, you idiot. It's such a mess. What happened to this keg?
I don't know. I wasn't conscious for that part of it.
Hey, Finn.
Most of the customers are kind of shuffling out at this point.
How many mechs you say were in that bay?
Depends on the who's out and who's not. There's how many mechs would you say this garrison has, Cliff?
Well, there are normally 5 mech warriors there, in addition to some tanks and, a good couple dozen infantry level personnel. Altogether, it amounts to sort of a mixed company. With some infantry support. But in a few days, actually, in a couple days, Ham and Cheese is apparently going to be heading out of town and taking most of his forces with him on some sort of unknown errand. And that's going to leave only a couple of mechs there that should be hopefully even powered down.
Yeah, so we got nearly half a dozen mechs in the garrison total. A couple days when Ham will be leaving with the majority of the garrison in a couple days.
Ham?
Ham and Cheese, whatever.
Please tell me that's not really his name.
If you ask him, his call sign is Hammer. It's Ham and Cheese.
I'm gonna call an audible here, and I was gonna yell across the bar to one of the few people still not leaving. Apparently, hey Waco, you get a little payback on them?
Well, I hate bullies. John, Texas, but you call me. I respond to that too. I got hit so hard I don't even remember my own name, so I'll respond to anything. I shuffle over, and I'm kind of cleaning myself up.
It's happened to you a lot?
It happens a lot.
All right.
Gee,
Waco,
isn't that surprising?
I should say I used to be Waco Rangers. I lost my mech. And I used to be. Would like to again.
Yeah, I know the feeling it used to be since coming here. Any interest in becoming one again?
Tell me about the job.
Oh, you're going to like this part. It involves those guys who just left.
I'm all ears.
I feel like we're coming to a scene closure there.
I thought so too. Yeah, it sounds like a good point to fade things out and cut to John Texas Crow strapped in the pilot of his Phoenix Hawk,
Smelling like beer.
Some incoming.
Like vomit and beer.
This is some number of hours after having seized the base. Not too long. You haven't had too much time to relax yet, or even spend some time cleaning up the cockpit much. The Marauders been in process of finishing up some hasty repairs. Finn's been busy doing that, but you're out doing a patrol, and you've just picked up some sensor blip contacts, unknown, coming from the northeast, which is the most likely direction of potential retaliation forces. And it looks like it's starting to resolve into more than just one of the errant sensor contact artifacts caused by some of the unusual mag storms in the area, or features here and there. So, why don't you go ahead and give me a roll for operating your sensors? I think that would be communications if you got the skill, plus int.
Where's our roll 20? There it is.
There's a navigation skill as well.
That could work as well.
I don't have. Okay, /R and then 2d6, and then plus.
You don't have to roll and roll 20 if you don't want to. Oh,
okay. So I got a. Did you say intelligence? Is that the default on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I rolled an 11 plus 1 for intelligence is 12.
Okay, yeah, that's enough to pick up on. It looks like you're actually getting 2 battlemech contacts and 2 ground vehicles. All of them are showing on the medium to light side of things, but you don't have enough resolution from this distance to tell more than that. So you're not looking at like assault mechs showing up, but I mean, there might not be tiny ones either.
Okay. The first thing I want to do is get on comms and see if I can raise Paladin and Finn and give them a warning that this is coming in.
All right, cutting back to the mech bay and the base. Well, Finn, you're in the process of sort of welding on the last bits of replacement armor that got knocked off or melted off in the recent battle from the Marauder. It's already looking a lot less shiny than it was just a few hours ago.
Yeah.
But you have you've got a lot of material to work with.
It might not be the prettiest, but it'll work.
Well, doesn't sound like we got time for a paint job either. John Texas just pinged us. We got incoming. Didn't take them long.
Great. Okay.
You guys might want to saddle up your horses. I think we've got some competition coming back in.
God, what century do you come from? Jesus.
Damn it.
Texas isn't a century. It's forever.
Wow.
All right, so what are you doing?
I am jacking into the Marauder and starting up the chute.
All right.
Oh yeah, I had a quick question actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was injured last session. Does that resolve between sessions?
Let's see here. It would have been. I mean, I don't picture healing up super fast on your own necessarily. But you would have access to some medical care in the intervening hours here. Do one of you have a skill for medical care? Let's see, what's it called here? MedTech.
No MedTech on me.
Unfortunately not.
I can try and do some slap patch work on it.
What level of injury are you at? I don't recall. Is it
3
stun
boxes.
damage?
It was physical because that was like a almost crit fail roll on my part. So it bypassed my armor and went straight to the physical condition. So because of my stats, the first 2 full rows are filled and then 1 more.
All right. Yeah, I mean, there's no stun track in this. It's either physical or fatigue.
There's fatigue.
Yeah, fatigue would be stun.
Fatigue is the stun.
Yeah. I have one of my equipment. I have a med pack is one of my in my standard equipment. So I'd be happy to share that with you. I'm not sure exactly how to resolve that, but
let's just make it easy and say use up some medical supplies and you get patched up in the meantime. You might still have some bandages on or signs of injury or bruises, but for game purposes, you're all patched up.
Okay.
We'll make it easy.
That was the important part.
Yeah. We'll worry about figuring out more complicated healing rules later if there are any.
Yeah.
Okay.
That said, I know you can spend plot points on 1-for-1 to heal boxes one at a time, but I'm not sure how the first aid kits are supposed to work as a gear item.
In combat, I mean, that's...
Alright, so you, I guess Ian or Paladin gets strapped into the Marauder, pilots it, gets it all powered up and ready to go, patching in the comm network. And I can picture Finn running over to the what was it, a locust? Is it your mech?
Yeah, it's a locust.
I thought, yep.
Yes. My shitty little locust. She's my baby.
Yeah, perhaps I haven't really had the time to give her a proper tune-up and fix things up since...
I never have the time to do anything proper on this mech.
You apparently barely had enough time to slap the armor patches over the Marauders' PPC and armor, or PPC and I think it was medium laser melted armor holes. Apparently in time for this shindig. So with that, we'll cut back to John Texas Crow out in the mech pilot. These would be just kind of on the edge of extreme range here. What would you like to do?
I'd like to see if I can get closer and figure out exactly what we're dealing with here. So I want to take that Phoenix Hawk and just move in cautiously and try to keep. I don't want any shooting to get done. I just want to be able to see and peek and see what's going on and see if I can get a feel for what's happening here. So I'll take my mech in and try to skirt around him, and maybe that could be a piloting role to navigate around.
I was gonna say stealth is a skill as well.
Or stealth, which I don't have stealth, but if I did, that would be a wonderful thing to use.
Yeah, you can use piloting then as your just using the mech to maneuver along with the terrain. Most of the terrain here is fairly open, but there are a lot of sort of irregular rock formations or ridges or unexpected ravines or cracks or things that break up the terrain from time to time. So you're able to make use of that, kind of stay a bit low, move fast, and go ahead and give me the roll to see how well that goes, though.
Okay, so that is...
This is going to be a moderate
I get a
difficulty.
+6. Okay. I can't tell what I rolled here.
It didn't
It
roll.
didn't. Slash
It
before
didn't
the
roll.
R.
Oh, I did the slash before the R.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. I got a total of 11.
All right, with 11, you're able to sort of maneuver around kind of the sides of them and start to get a bit close using some of the terrain. There's one point where you kind of slip down a bit on a sort of a steeper than expected part and use the jump jets to move up a bit. And when you do that, you come back up and land, you can see that it looks like one of those blips has sort of broken off in your direction. Some of the sensor data is starting to pour in with more information, but this mech's poorly maintained and not very up-to-date computer systems aren't analyzing it well. That said, it is being fed back through a more sophisticated command and control system in the Marauder. As you're starting to move towards the front of the base and step out with your mechs, the Locust, I imagine, sweeping out just past it in front of the Marauder, moving out. You're not too far away from this position. It's only a few kilometers, and the town itself is also fairly close as well. What would you like to do?
Then your Locust can tear the hell out of those vehicles. I'd say angle for them.
Got it.
I'm going to try and cut the middle distance between the two so I can try and respond to whichever one looks a little heavier. Especially if Cowboy over here is going to get the first contact.
Yeah, I'm gonna start angling and try to make contact and try to connect with Finn and with Paladin back there and try to close up with them. So I'm gonna switch out. And can I tell from the speed of closure? And would I know if I have a? Is this something that's similarly fast to me, or am I going to be able to outrun it?
Go ahead and give me a. What is your movement of your mech?
It is. That's a great question.
2, probably.
I have not yet considered that. Probably.
It might be a 3.
My movement is 3.
Okay, so
3.
that's pretty fast.
Oh, I got the 2 mechs mixed up by who had which.
Yeah, it looks like the speeds are of a similar range, though it's hard to tell without more information. Though as it's coming closer, you can tell that this mech's tonnage is coming up at 25. Starting to get a little bit more resolution on some of the non-visual sensors. But your mech isn't actually coming up with a destination yet. But 25 tons,
Okay,
that's not too bad, right? That's less than yours.
Well, yeah. But I'm just thinking, what would Wayne Waco do? And he would want me to regroup with the group. So I'm going to pull back and try to make my way over to the and connect with Finn and with Paladin.
Okay, Finn, you've got the fastest out of all the mechs out here. What are you going to do?
Well, she's gonna try and get more information. She wants to get a closer look at who we have approaching. Because, I mean, she's intimately familiar with a lot of the mechs. Probably all of the mechs. At least that were in this garrison. And their pilots. And she wants to get an eye on things and start putting a better plan of attack together.
Okay, so you're going to get a little closer, try to get better sensor reads. What skill are you going to rely on for that?
Do you want pilot or stealth?
It's up to you, but either sounds like they could be useful.
I was going to say, because my pilot is technically better, but I do have stealth.
Your stealth involves being sneakier.
Yeah. I feel like the sneaking is the important part here, so I'm going to go ahead and roll my stealth here. 2d6 plus, that is a 5. 2 in the skill, 3 reflex. I rolled a 12. That's average.
Okay, well, good enough in this case. You're able to sneak in and get a little closer. As they're advancing with their positions, one of them you get a read on. You don't actually recognize the mech, but you're able to identify it as a commando. It seems to be in a reasonably good shape. I mean, for mechs around here, not shiny like paladins, but those mechs can be pretty dangerous. They pack a lot of short-range firepower. They can't take it, but they can really dish it out. Then you're able to get a view on the main group, which appears to be a small caravan of 2 pack rat long-range patrol vehicles. They're fairly lightly armored, wheeled vehicles. They have to stick to fairly flat terrain and roads. But they do pack a flamer and a short-range missile launcher, and each one can carry a full contingency of infantry. So those are bad news if they get out and on foot in a place you don't want them to, like maybe in town or into the base.
Mm-hmm.
That was my other question: is is it obvious they're heading like for the base? And how is for my mental picture, how is the base in the town laid out? Like,
the base is built in kind of like a weird shaped small mountain structure of rock, and the actual town is maybe a half a mile to a mile away, sort of with a road leading directly towards. The people in town don't like to live too close to the base, and the people at the base like to hold themselves apart from the people of the town. So they're very close, but they're not like in together quite as the same town. Right now, they're more or less heading towards both the base and town from their distance and trajectory. It's hard to tell which might be their objective, though the base is probably the more likely target. The town is almost undefended.
Oh yeah, while she's up close, she's gonna use her Hilford military communicator to try and tap into their communications. Their short-range communications.
All right, give me a communications plus intelligence roll.
I'm missing another skill, dagnabbit. Alright. So many skills I need to be able to do what I
In
want.
which Cliff asks for skills that we don't have?
You've got this, pretty awesome mech with lots of communications equipment. So, yeah, it's a scout mech. So I imagine it's meant to tap into comms and do all sorts of communications, logistics stuff.
Right.
It's just a matter of knowing which things to use. And how
Yeah,
to make
no,
the
I
most
get
of them.
it. So it's just plus my intelligence.
I think someone's hacking your comms because that didn't come through. Can you try again?
Dang it. It's just 2d6 plus intelligence since I don't have the skill, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Ah.
So edge can be used to re-roll that, right?
Yeah, you can roll any number of dice, whether they're your
Well,
roll
both
or
of
the
them
NPCs.
were ones. Both of my dice were ones. So I'm gonna use that and go ahead and re-roll both of those dice. Use my one edge. Try it again.
Oh, you're gotta be kidding me.
I got a 2 and a 1 that time.
All right, so you flip a couple switches and turn a dial, and then suddenly sparks fly, and
Shit.
something shorts out, and you actually lose the ability to transmit comms
Oh,
Fuck.
for now. I'm going to spend a plot point on you as a GM, which means you get a plot point, but your communications
Yay.
aren't going to work for now. However, you do also observe a mech amongst the two pack rat vehicles. And that mech is, it's a light mech, but it's heavier than yours. You recognize it as a Valkyrie. And the normal pilot for this mech is a pilot named Shen. He's very serious, quiet, generally leaves you alone and other people, and doesn't socialize with anybody as far as you know. He's probably one of the pirates to be feared more, you think. Because he's not
It's
a
always the
blowhard.
quiet ones.
And yeah, that Valkyrie has, in addition to some of the smaller weaponries that are common on lighter mechs, it does have a pretty solid long-range missile launcher. So with that, I guess, John Texas Crow, you've been heading back to join up with the team. You can see the familiar and reassuring form of that marauder lumbering in your general direction, and you're not quite sure where Ava went. Where Finn went with her locust, but there she is on the sensor systems. But and then something goes wrong with her comms.
Oh, frick, what just happened?
It looks like Paladin, you've got the command and control center in the Marauder. It's currently reporting an error with her communication system.
Oh, great. We've identified the system's identified those two mechs by now, right?
Yeah. You've at least got that much data. It looks like you've got the commando that has sort of moved ahead and is acting as a scout or screening force for the rest of them, which is a Valkyrie along with a pair of pack rat long-range patrol vehicles. So it's a sizable force of 4 vehicles, every one of them potentially dangerous, but not necessarily a super heavy force.
Let's try and close in on the larger group, since there's more of them, and Finn's mech is showing some issues. Hey, Cowboy, how you feel about on comms? I'll say, how you feeling about that commando you're looking at?
hey, you call the ball, boss.
All right, try and duel with him. I'm gonna try and help
I'll
Finn.
line him up.
Jerks over here.
Okay, sounds like we're about to go into a mech combat here. One of the Mechwarriors is not in comms with everyone else. Unfortunately, that's the scout mech. So We'll see how that goes. Why don't we?
Yeah.
Seems like a good time to take a break, and we'll come back and sling some dice. And see how the battle mech combat goes.
Sling dice and large lasers together. Sounds wonderful.
Awesome. All right. We'll be back in, let's say, about 10 minutes here. Give me a moment to set
Sounds
up the
good.
timer. We're still on the air.
My dice, man.
And we're back from our break. Welcome back, everyone. I see our chat's been busy. Let's take a moment to say hello to everyone in there. Welcome Nina, Sarah from Rem Alternus, Trevor, Sailing Master, AP. I think I saw Palmer and Opti here earlier as well.
Yep.
Shout outs to Matthew as well. Seeing out there. So thanks so much for joining us in the chat here. It's great to have a live audience as we play. If you're watching this in the future on YouTube, we're happy you're here too. Or there. Or, I don't know, time is confusing.
However, glad you have chosen to watch this whenever and however you do.
Thank you for enjoying the media at your convenience.
And I do want to say that we're sort of low-key doing a bit of a charity drive here. Any super chats that you make through the channel, we're going to be donating along to World Builders. But I also just want to draw attention to that charity, worldbuilders.org. Check them out. They do a lot of really great things around the world and put donation money raised to good use. So, again, if you'd like to make any super chats, that's a YouTube thing where you throw money at us and your chat stays up longer, I guess. But the cool part of that is the money goes to a good cause this time instead of just getting thrown at us, which is also a good cause, I suppose, sometimes, but not what we're here for today. Otherwise, again, check out worldbuilders.org, especially if you're a YouTuber from the future or YouTube watcher from the future checking this out. Please check out that charity and consider donating. Definitely worthwhile. But we'll move on to the situation our mech warriors find themselves in, strapped into the cockpits of their mechs, facing an opposition force of 2 enemy mechs and 2 ground vehicles. Currently, Finn is up ahead closer to the enemies in a stealth position, but having some problems with her communications in her Locust. And moving back to join Ian Warden's position in his Phoenix Hawk is John Texas Crow, and Ian Warden, or Paladin, is currently piloting his almost shiny Marauder, about to become perhaps a little bit less shiny as he takes it into action for the second time. Currently you're outside of combat range, and you've got the sensor contacts picked up. It looks like the commandos backed off a bit to head back in the general direction of their main force. And Finn is actually kind of up at the edge of long range from that position, apparently undetected.
So far.
Yeah, so it seems like as the commando moves in to join up with the rest of those forces, they all sort of slow down quite a bit to really more of a what you'd expect of a Marauder's walking speed, if you for reference. The whole convoy slows down to a bit of a crawl, but still continues up ahead. It seems like the mechs move forward a bit, with the commando leading the point quite a bit. Behind that being the Valkyrie, and then a bit behind the Valkyrie, the Pack Rats.
Okay. So on my TAC system, it doesn't look like they're paying the Locust any attention. So I'm going to assume they haven't spotted it yet. So I'm going to go in comms and say, all right, cowboy, help me turn them so we can give their flank to Finn.
And
she
Finn,
can't hear it. So.
And Finn, you are hearing them somewhat. It's a bit choppy and staticky, but you don't seem to be able to get your own transmissions back to them.
All right. So we're going to try and maneuver off to one side, sort of turn their flank towards the Locust and engage them from that direction.
Okay, go ahead and give me a piloting roll then as you're sort of maneuvering against them. I'm going to make this an opposed roll for their team.
All right. I get a 13 with a 4 and a 3 on the die.
I got a 4 and a 1 on the die, this being a total of 9. So, yeah, you're able to maneuver. It seems like they're moving in kind of a straight path. They are sort of adjusting things to apparently kind of keep you at a bit of a distance, but they're not directly avoiding you either. They're heading in the direction of Medgar's Folly and or the nearby base.
All right. Well, we're coming from the base, so if they're headed for that, might have to speed up a bit to try and catch them, head them off from the town if that's what they're doing. But
You've managed to sweep around sort of one side of them, and Finn, you've been in position observing them moving. It looks like you're on the opposite side of your allies from the convoy or group, and they're currently at about they're in the middle of long range to you, and about on the other side of long range or so, just on the edge of that, is where John Texas Crow and Eden Warden are about to be, if they could move into, if that's what they're planning on doing. No one's engaged anyone though. It doesn't seem like they've reacted to your presence. You can see them occasionally turning and shifting their torsos in the direction of the approaching other allies of yours. So it does seem like they know about John Texas Crow and Eden Warden.
I'm gonna keep at something of a distance. She's gonna try and remain unseen until one of the other two gets their attention. I would like to not be the focus on fire.
All right, and John Texas Crow, what about you? Are you going to enter combat range, or are you kind of staying on the edges?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let's get this party started. I'm gonna try to enter into long range and see if I can take a shot on the commando.
All right, sounds good. You start maneuvering into a long range. The sensor contacts appear. You can see the silhouettes of the mechs and the vehicles up ahead. And let's go into a mech scale combat. Combat.
All right, it's time to do this.
All right, so I think for initiative purposes, let's go ahead with an opposed tactics roll. Who's rolling for your team?
I've got tactics. I can roll that.
Paladin.
All right.
Paladin.
Terrible. 1 and a 1 on the die.
Oh no!
I'm not using Roll20 anymore tonight.
Apparently wants you all to die.
Yeah, wants us to go last for damn sure.
I'm going back to using Carlton's dice.
Total of 6 for me.
Okay, so first off, we resolve the mech scale movement. We're gonna say they're sort of in the middle of your formation, with Finn on one side and the other mechs on the other, and you're all just at the very edge of long range at this point. So that would be, let's see, short range is 1 hex away, or 1 step away, basically movement point away.
Mm-hmm.
Medium range is 2 more away, so up to 3, and then long range is 3 more away. So we'll say you're all about 6 hexes away from the bulk of the enemy contacts here. And we're doing theater of the mind here because the whole tabletop simulator thing just did not fly with our setup. And we're going to do our best to narrate this, and we've got a little thing on Roll20 to keep track of it, but let's not describe it too much because we're the only ones who can see it, so it's not being shared with the audience. It's just doodles, so it's not worth watching. All right, so with that, I think up first, the pack rats go, and they suddenly kick into high gear, moving with just incredible speed, accelerating fast, about as fast as maybe a locust can go. And they're making a break for it. They start zooming past and ahead of their mech consorts. And then it looks like the commando is going to move. Let's see. I've got with that one 3 movement. They move 3 up, so they'll be just at the far edge of medium range. And this is just movement, no attacks yet. So, I'm getting ahead of myself. And then the Valkyrie seems to be maneuvering a little bit more conservatively, trying not to step on the tanks that are zipping past. Not tanks, but patrol vehicles that are zipping past quite fast, and looks like in the process of trying to find a target for that missile launcher. So let's see, who wants to move first among the rest of you?
I suppose I will. Finn is going to, well, her plan is still the initial, because we weren't able to communicate a better one. She's gonna focus on the ground vehicles, so she's gonna, keep pace with them.
Okay, you're gonna have to move flat out to
Yeah.
be able to do that, which will probably eschew any chance of stealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll focus on the bigger mechs, though.
But yeah, they're kicking into high speed. You maneuver to sort of angle in to be able to head towards them. You realize you might not have a chance to cut them off. It's going to be close. But
Right.
your movement will put you within, I'm going to say, just the
Range?
edge of medium, the far edge of medium range of them. So you have 4 movement, right?
All right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that puts you in medium range if you want to fire with any weapons at the
Okay.
at these vehicles.
So there's point blank, short, and then that. So I'm in medium range.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm thinking you have a medium laser that can be used.
Yeah, my
Machine
medium
guns-
laser at medium range. Yeah. It's.
Yep, your machine guns aren't going to reach that far. So medium laser, you got a -2 because of the
Yeah.
range. Movement, you actually are even up with these, so no penalty there. So you roll your reflexes plus gunnery, -2, and I'm gonna roll the piloting plus reflexes for the opposition.
All right. All right. So I'm rolling 2d6 plus 5 minus 2. So I give up.
Not our finest hour.
I rolled a 2 and a 1 again.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Thanks for coming to our stream. It's been
All right, well, I did roll a 3 and a 1, and depending on the skill differences, what is the total?
My total is 6.
Never mind, you
My
miss.
total is 6.
Yeah, so you come running
Yeah,
up.
because I'm at medium range.
I always picture medium laser beams as green. I think that's because they're that way in so many video games. But
right.
this bright green beam flashes out and scores the ground instead of the rear armor of the pack rat. All right, next up. We're getting ahead of ourselves with shooting again, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
That's okay. That's the next part, and that movement was already resolved. So the only other movement to resolve would be John Texas Crow and Paladin. So if you want to include your shooting in with your movement, let's just go ahead with that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to get back. If that commando got into medium range, I'm going to use my movement to try to move back into long range, get out of his missile envelope, and try a long range shot on him.
Okay. So you scooch back, hopefully outside of range of that short range missile 10 pack.
And
at long range, I think you've got a large laser that can hit, right?
right at a -4 penalty, and that's the only thing I've got that can shoot out that far.
And what's your
So
movement?
this will be my movement is 3.
Okay, even up with that.
Okay. So I'm looking at a -4 penalty to
Yep,
this.
just from the range.
Does that sound right?
Yep.
And let me check my skills real quick. I think all right, I'll roll 2d6 and I'll add a +5 for gunnery and reflexes. And I entered it wrong. Okay, rolled a total of 15.
Okay, is that with the -4?
Oh, the -4, that makes that an 11.
All right, I've got a 4 and a 2 plus 6 for piloting, and reflexes makes it a 10. So Yeah, you just hit. So go ahead and roll for location.
Okay. And I did that. I keep on doing this backwards. Roll /R. A 9, and that would be left leg for 3 points of damage.
All right, let's see here. 3 points of damage. Yeah, you strip away all of the armor on the left leg. So a bunch of it melts off. The laser ultimately piercing through, putting a hole through it that doesn't quite affect any of the internal skeleton or actuators.
Okay. And I'm done. I'm not shooting anything else right now.
And then last up we have Paladin.
I, on the other hand, am going to try and close with that commando, and we're going to try and focus fire on it.
With a speed of 2, unless you're going to spend a plot point for extra movement or something, you're going to end up at still within long range, but at the front edge of it. If you wanted to spend a plot point, you can do an extra move, and that would put you 2 closer and within sort of at the close to the medium range.
Yeah, I think I will do that. I'm going to drop a plot point and say that in trying to avoid getting shot by the Phoenix Hawk, it walked itself into my medium range as I was moving up.
Sounds good. You see your medium range to the commando?
Yep.
So and long range to the rest of the convoy.
Yes. So with that, I'm going to fire my AC-5 and 2 medium lasers at the commando. Trying not to go up on heat.
Right, the commando is more maneuverable than you, so you've got a -1 from the movement difference.
Yep, and a -3, I think. No, -2 from the range. So let's see. Total is a -3, so I'm rolling 2d6 plus 3 total for, oh my god, a 6.
Well, I got a crappy roll, but it was it's better than that. My total is 11.
All right. Well, that'd be for the AC 5. So now let's go to the medium lasers, which is going to be the same roll.
Do better.
Yeah, right.
I did. Thank you.
Well, I did too, but probably not enough. 8 total with a 3 on the dice.
Mine was 12. So yeah, the pilot of this mech kind of ducks and makes a little bit of a lower profile, and then kind of alters their movement a bit unexpectedly with a bit of a heel kick. They seem to be actually pretty good with this thing. And the overcoms is, who's that over there shooting at me? You better stand down if you know what's good for you. Overcoms, Finn, you're hearing the voice of Richter.
Of course it is. Cannot believe they trusted him with another mech.
And then, yeah, with that, I guess I've got some return fire.
Sadly.
Hey.
So the pack rats are out. Well, let's see. Yeah, they're outside of range. Their SRM is to the front, and they're kind of way ahead of you here. The actual Valkyrie is going to turn and fire off a volley of missiles at. We'll target that big scary marauder.
Yep.
And then it looks like the commando is going to add its salvo of 10 SRMs to the volley as well. So why don't you give me a reflexes plus piloting roll to avoid the LRM 10 shot? Let's see, I'm at medium range, so no penalties there.
10.
But I have a plus. Nope, it's even up. No, yeah, I have a +1 from the movement. So I rolled a 1 and a 1. Oh, snake eyes. Okay, that's fun.
Welcome to my world tonight.
And mine earlier, yes.
It's one of those nights.
I'm definitely seeing the
Welcome to
logo.
Mechwarrior Destiny, where a roll of over 3 is to be applauded.
All right. I don't want to do a similar thing. What happened last time? I don't think they're quite in the line of fire here, but yeah, I'm gonna say they don't actually fire off an LRM-10 rack. They have some sort of issue with an ammo feed process with their long-range missile launcher, and they're gonna have to deal with that before they can shoot it again. Or by again, that would suggest it has been fired already. So only the SRMs come at you from the commando.
I will. This time, there's a better roll. 15 for my avoidance.
Right, I got a 10 for that, so that's the bulk of the missiles, the SRM-6. Make another roll for the SRM-4.
All right.
Ooh, I've
11.
got a 14, but minus 2 from the range. But another +1. Yep, so that's going to hit.
That'll hit.
Looks like just one missile, though, out of the 4.
Okay.
So you take 1 damage to, let's see, location 10. That would be
Left arm.
left arm. So yeah, so 1 missile out of those 10 clips you. Let's see, what have I got for heat dissipation? Only 2. This doesn't seem just time to hold back on that, though. So yeah, he does raise one of the mech's arms and snaps off a medium laser shot at you. So one more defense roll there.
All right.
Ah.
16.
Well, he rolled pretty
That's
well
good
on
roll.
that, but you sort of tucked your mech such a way where the laser just sort of passes through and in between the chassis. Not where any of the actual armor is, but just through a nice little gap of maneuvering there. Like one of those things that looks like it should hit, and the other pilot was, "What? No, that's BS."
Marauders are spindly.
I'm lagging.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so yes, after that, that's all the shooting. There's no physical attacks or consciousness, so everyone resolve your cooldown. And if anyone has any heat buildup, take a note of that. All of my forces are running cool so far. I'm going to have my pilot here make a tech roll to repair his LRM-10. Let's see. Not with that roll. So going into next round, situation is, again, there's the Valkyrie toward the back that hasn't opened fire yet, just sort of observing the situation. Maybe they're getting sensor data, hard to tell. Up ahead, there's the 2 pack rats, the ground vehicles that are just sped off towards the town or base, with Finn in hot pursuit. And then toward the side, we've got a commando that has moved up or has been sort of engaging with... well, initially, John Texas Crow, but has fired off a bunch of missiles at the Marauder. They've traded some blows, but no decisive damage on either side. So going into next round, let's see here. The pack rats continue to move. Finn, as long as you keep on them as fast as you can, you'll be able to keep the range as it is now. Unless you spend a plot point to like speed up to get that extra
Double
movement
move.
boost to get closer.
Yes.
You won't be able to catch up on them. But if you do keep up with them, that will take you away from the combat that your other 2 allies are in. You'll be out of range of that. So just so you know, when it will come around to your movement, you can decide what to do. The Valkyrie actually moves forward near, sort of abreast of the commando to support them with his apparently their close range weapons, and the commando is staying put, but also kind of ready to maneuver and anticipating the gigantic weapon assault that's about to be unleashed by the Marauder.
Okay.
So that'll be their movement. So currently we're sitting with the Commando and the Valkyrie at medium range to the Marauder, but at long range to the Phoenix Hawk. And then elsewhere, well, actually, then for your movement, then you could close the distance or maneuver, or I want to find out what Finn's doing. Are you chasing the pack rat still?
Yes. She's gonna I'm gonna spend a plot point to double time it to close a little closer so I can actually hit the sons of bitches this time.
Okay, let's see. That could put you up to short or even point blank range. Or you could even get ahead of them if you want to, at whichever of those. Point blank range would be necessary for melee attacks, which you can kick.
Yeah.
High speed
I
kick.
can.
You're behind them. If they want to shoot, they're going to have to turn to face you, and that means they got to they got to hit the brakes.
But I could cut them off entirely, yes?
If you do
Like,
get in front of
get in
them,
front
they
of
have a lot
them?
more firepower they can level at you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're behind them and you're chewing at them with your machine gun,
Yeah.
both of them, actually. Paired machine
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah, so we'll just she'll close to short. I don't necessarily need to be in point blank range.
Okay. Sounds good. And then, what about the two of you? Are you happy with your range situations, or are you going to close any distances? Maneuver?
Well, when I see Paladin go in, I'm going to go into, and I'm going to try to get at least into medium range, so I can bring my medium lasers to bear.
Okay. You can move to just within medium range.
If you're not going to burn up on the heat, like with your large laser, you might want to jump. Makes you a little harder to hit, and them easier to hit.
Yeah, but
That's
you are
true.
a pretty warm mech.
Yeah.
I have a pretty warm mech. I think I'm going to save my heat because I'm going to save my heat. I'll use that one. I'll use that one later. So.
All right, and how's Paladin maneuvering?
Yeah.
Paladin is closing to short, especially on the commando. That one, the short range missiles are a problem.
Yeah, without having to spend a plot point for extra movement, you can close the distance to short range.
All right.
They seem so small in comparison to you.
Stomp.
All right, so now let's go with the shooting. The commando is going to go ahead and unleash another salvo of short-range missiles, and we're going to hold off on the medium laser because he's got a bit of heat buildup. So see, this being short range, no penalties on that. Got a +1 for the movement differences, but -1 from heat. Looks like I've got an even up attack on you. What's that?
Shooting at me?
Yep.
12.
All right, for the SRM-6, I've got a total of a 6 and a 3 plus 4 is 13.
It's by 1.
Ooh, looks like 5 of the missiles hit you.
Ooh.
Oof.
Is there a way to make you re-roll a die?
Sure.
It'll
You
buff
can make
out.
me re-roll. I got a 6 and a 3 on my dice. Do you want me to re-roll the 6?
Yes, I would. I will spend my edge to do that.
I even gave you an extra re-roll, and it came up with 6 every time. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Meant to eat that. All right.
All right, location is 9. The left leg. The missiles slam into your left leg of your mech, dealing 5 damage. You can spend a plot point to downgrade that to a glancing blow for only 1 damage if you like.
Do they all hit in the same place on an SRM?
Maybe I should roll separate locations. Yeah.
I thought they all spread.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's 2 damage that goes to your left leg, and then 3 more 1-point damage groups. So
Okay. To the left.
The second one slams in for 1 point of damage to your right leg.
Okay.
Another one to location 3, right arm.
Okay.
And then the last one also in the right arm for another point.
Okay. I will eat that.
So it's more of a shotgun spread. Now let's see about the next 4 missiles.
Yeah.
I rolled like crap on that one, so
17. I didn't.
yeah, you avoid that particular burst, and there is no medium laser following it up from the commando, but there is one coming from the Valkyrie. So make another similar roll.
10. Not great.
I've got a 16 total. 5 and a 2 on the dice.
Yep.
So the medium laser strikes location 3, which is the right arm, for 2 more points of damage. Scoring a rivulet of molten armor.
All right then.
But the long-range missile launcher surprisingly does not fire. Even though he's got a pretty solid potential target lock on you at this range. So with that, let's see how your shooting goes.
All right. I am in short range, which is ideal for both the PPCs and the AC5, so that's what I'm going to throw.
You got a -1 for movement difference for any of your targets because their maneuverability.
I shouldn't to the commando if he's at 1 heat.
Oh, you're right. That does cut down his speed.
That's who I'm shooting at, so it should be an even roll on him.
All right. I've got a +6 on piloting.
PPCs, him.
Ooh, I got a 6 and a 3, so that's a 15 for my first roll.
I got a 15 for my roll with a 3 and a 6 on the die.
All right, that's going to be a hit. Roll location.
Let's see. That's going to be 7 damage to... Oh, excuse me. Location 3.
All right,
So you
right
took
arm.
off an arm.
So go
Yep.
ahead and take a plot point for yourself because he's going to take that as a glancing blow.
Damn
So doing a bit of a tuck, and the PPC blasts mostly to the side, but still sort of vaporizes some of the mech's armor on the side, leaving it initially a bit blurry, and then in its passage, these bright red chunks of armor are just sort of dripping off the side of it.
Can I give you the plot point back so it's not a glancing blow?
Nope. I don't think so. At least feel free to look it up in the meantime if you want. But we'll move on to John Texas Crow's shooting.
I've still got an AC5.
All right.
Oh, you do. I'm sorry. Next gun.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Same roll. 13 this time to hit. With the
I got a 13 as well, so you've got a hit.
Again.
Roll location.
To the 8. Which
Center
is
torso. For how much damage?
Torso.
2 damage there.
All right. Slams into the torso, staggering him back and blowing chunks of armor off. It's still in the fight, though.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be in a second.
All right. John Texas Crow, you're up.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add in to this and target that commando, and I'm firing medium lasers and a large laser on this. And so both of them are, since it's medium range, I get a -2. So I'll do the medium lasers first, and that will be a 9. Oh, and I get a +1. So that's an 8. Because now I'm a movement 3 and the commando's a 2, right?
Mm-hmm. They can
So
do +1 on your attacks.
Man.
So that would be a 10 -2 is an 8. 8 total.
All right. Yeah, that's a pretty wide miss.
Okay.
No one's quite sure who you were shooting at, except for maybe you.
That hurt. That hurt down here. All right, now I'm going to add that.
Well, it definitely didn't hurt your target, so.
Let's get that large laser. Let's get that large laser going here. So same roll, and it is this time a total of 11.
Wait. How are you getting an 11 out of that? You rolled a 1 and a 6 on the die. You have a +5, I'm assuming, from your gunnery.
Correct.
Differences.
Okay, so that's a 12.
And then
Two
a
for
12,
range.
and then -2 for range, and then +1 for my speed.
Movement.
So 11.
So I got an 11.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Did I do
Large
that
la-
right?
Is large laser still at a -2 at that range?
It is.
Okay, crap. All right.
You're looking at a 9 for the defense roll in this one, so that hits.
Good.
All right. So that's 3 damage to the
Yes, to those of you in chat talking about the clunky Roll20 rolls, I have told everyone here you can just roll physical dice at home. So don't feel like you have to deal with the Roll20 interface for that.
So let's go with the that's 4. I rolled a 4, so that's the right arm.
Yep,
right arm for
location.
3 damage.
Okay. That's enough.
That might be that Asarum.
That melts the right arm completely away,
Nice.
and it falls It falls off with a clang along with its SRM-4 missile launcher assembly, and that reduces its firepower by quite a bit.
Those
Okay.
things, their ammo.
Yeah, and then up at the pack rats that are being chased by the locust, they both sort of turn their turrets around and fire their flamers back at the rear. Actually, they're not turrets; they're rear-mounted flamers. Oh, that's handy. So go ahead and make 2 defense rolls against the flamer attacks, Finn. That would be your reflexes plus piloting. There's not a movement difference, and there's no range penalty here, so it's just straight up rolls.
Okay, reflex plus pilot. That's good. I have 2d6 plus 7.
All right, I got a 6 and a 4 on the first one for a 14.
I got 12.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, Flamer's pretty dead on. They managed to lead you just right. You end up going right into the flames, bathing your mech. It doesn't do any damage, but you will have 1 extra heat build up to deal with this round,
Oh, I'll have to actually start tracking heat then, maybe.
which might slow you down. Seems like a good plan on their part. The next Flamer is trying to target you as well, though, so make a pilot roll for that.
Can I please roll higher than a 3? For those playing the home game, I rolled a 2 and a 3 on the dice. Alright, 2d6 plus 7.
I've got a 4 and a 3 for a total of 11.
Got a 1 and a 4 for a total of 12. I beat it this time.
Okay.
I rolled higher than a 3, but my other die was lower.
balanced out entirely.
A little bit of a
Dang
kick
it.
and a zig. You managed to avoid the flame coming at you from the other one. Now's your chance to retort if you'd like to.
Yeah, the one that hits me gonna get medium laser fire.
Okay.
So what is my gunnery? Gunnery is slightly worse than piloting. 2d6 plus 5.
And I think you're just straight up roll on this.
10.
10 is your total?
Yes.
I got a 5
I
and
rolled
a
a
9
1 and a...
on the
Yeah.
dice. So,
Did you say a 5 and a 9?
no, I'm sorry. I got a 5 and a 4 on the dice for a 9. My brain, yeah. And numbers. But that,
I rolled a 1 and a 4 again.
Yeah, so 5 plus 4 plus their skill of 4 is a 13, so it swerves to the side, and the laser once again only carves up pavement. Well, not pavement so much as the rocky ground, because there isn't a road here.
Alright, so let's try the machine guns this time. It's...
All right. Tracers arcing out. Staccato fire at the back of the vehicle. And what's your dice roll?
Yeah, give me a second to make a prayer to the dice gods. Can I roll total higher than a 5, please? Be more specific.
And the
than
answer
that.
is
No. The
No.
answer is no. That's a 9. I rolled worse.
Okay.
A 3 and a 1.
Yeah, you managed to chew up from the machine guns mounted on either of the, well, what the locust mech refers to as arms. They're stitching up like these chunks of rock and dust being tossed up from the bullets impacting right on either side of the thing, just gradually stitching and getting closer, but none of them quite hitting the mark.
Yeah.
Definitely motivated them to
I-
drive fast in the direction they're going.
And I actually don't have to worry about heat buildup yet, because I have heat dissipation at 2, and my medium laser generates heat.
Yeah, it gets really warm in there
So-
you just feel this flash of warmth in the cockpit, but then really quickly thereafter, the heat gauge starts to die down, and you can feel just this coolness wash over the thin suit that you're wearing. It's not exactly comfortable, but it's welcoming, and just after a couple short moments, yeah, the heat is stabilized both for the mech and you within the cockpit. With that, I don't think we have any melee attacks, just the heat dissipation.
Yeah, I was
Correct.
I'm still at short range, so I hadn't. I'm not quite angry enough to start kicking these things yet.
I am.
If I keep missing, I will be soon.
Angry. I'm about to start kicking something.
I don't know if you mean when I'm
And I
playing
don't
the
just
BattleTech video game, if I see like tanks, that's like the first thing I do. Oh, run forward and kick that thing.
Yep.
Stomp
Forward
on
and
it.
kick it.
Hunt it.
Yep. Flip it over. Flip it over.
Extra effective.
All right, so we're past our normal time, but I think we're going to cut into the post show to maybe finish off this. I think we have one more round of this combat. I want to see how it goes. So let's start things off again with the opposing force. The commando is going to be using its movement to back away at a speed of 2, which will put it. Let's see, it was in short, so it'll put it at the far edge of medium range from the Marauder, and I think it'll be just into long range from John Texas Crow.
Okay.
And then the Valkyrie, I need to roll to see if they got their missile launcher back online. Oh, yep. Actually kicks their jump jets online and jumps back a full 3, which puts them. Let's see. They were at the sort of far edge of medium range. No, they were at short range because they were right with the commando. So they move all the way back to, with that whole leap, they move out back to the just the beginning of long range from the Marauder, and sort of the middle of long range to John Texas Crow. This whole relative movement thing is a little tricky to keep in my head, but I think I've got it so far. Also, the pack rats are hauling ass in the direction that they're going. Finn, are you going to keep on their heels?
Oh yes.
All right, you can
These
maintain
will
your
suck.
current speed and position with no particular investment of plot points or anything.
Yeah, I just needed to do it once.
All right. So with that, I guess, what about the Marauder and Phoenix Hawk? How are you maneuvering?
My speed's been reduced to 2 now, but I'm going to use that to try to push forward and get into that envelope with the and get. Let's see. So basically that'll put me, because the commando went back to, and so I'm just basically keeping pace with him and pushing up to maintain that medium range.
Yep, that'll keep you within medium range to him.
Okay.
See, 2 will put you also at the far end of medium range, but still within medium range of the Valkyrie.
Of the Valkyrie. Okay.
Right, and currently the Marauder is sitting at medium range to the Commando and long range to the Valkyrie.
Yeah, I'd like to move up to short range if I can with the commando.
You can get to just within short range of the Commando, and it'll put you in medium range of the Valkyrie.
So be it.
Okay, so that's where we're at. The Valkyrie finally unleashes its LRMs at the Marauder.
Of course it does.
So go ahead and make a defense roll for that. I've got no range penalties for this. My movement is 1 better, and you're my jump target, so even better for that. So I've got a +2 on top of my normal rolls to hit you.
Oh, you're probably going to do it because I rolled an 11.
Well, I got a 6 and a 1. +6 with the bonuses is 13. So yeah, let's see how many missiles hit. Just the 1.
Okay.
So 1
Where's
point
it?
of damage as a couple of long-range missiles clip your left arm.
Okay.
And let's see here. They're not going to fire the medium laser this time. However, the commando is that's going to squeeze off a just to the SRM-6 this round, I think, on the Marauder.
The 6 is the torso-mounted one?
Yep.
Damn.
Well, I rolled a 1 and a 2, so it's probably not going to hit.
Yeah, I rolled a 14.
Okay, so you easily evade that. You anticipate the shot. He's going to follow up the medium laser because that missed.
Okay.
Damn the heat. Probably
Well, he
not
may
the smartest
go
move.
into heat this time because he's lost that SRM-4. I don't think he's hitting me. I rolled a 17.
Yeah, I got a 4 and a 1, so a total of, I think, 9 on this. 10 with the movement bonus, but yeah. But yeah, you easily sort of maneuver to make the shot difficult for the commando, and none of them land. So that was a pretty light round of fire on you. How would you like to respond?
Well, I'm going to respond with, I'm leveling the battle arms. I'll fire off just the 2 medium lasers and the AC-5 and try and drop some heat. So, we're at medium range, so I'm at -2. They're a little faster than me, so that's another negative. So I'm at -3.
Are you targeting the Valkyrie or the commando?
I'm trying to finish off that commando.
Because it's got a speed of 2 right now.
Ah,
Yeah.
I have a
dropped
speed
down.
of 1 though because of heat, so
Oh. Okay.
yeah, still got a -1 on him.
All right, evens out then.
Yep.
So what have we got?
Let's see. Range. So I'm going to roll an 11 to hit with the medium lasers.
All right, I got a 5 and a 2 plus 5 with the penalties is 12. So
12.
just misses.
Barely shoot all around him. And the AC-5 will be the same roll. 14 with that one.
Oh, you hit.
Uh-huh. That bad, huh?
I rolled snake eyes. I'm not going to make it worse than it is.
Nah, it's 2 points of damage to, oh yeah, got to roll location,
Oh,
don't
hey,
I?
thank you, Boyd of Zinj, for the $3 super chat.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Go to World Builders because we are doing a charity stream. Thank you very much.
2 points to his left arm.
The
Okay.
left arm. No longer has any armor left on it.
All right. That
All
is
right.
my round.
Now I'm up, and I'm gonna do fire the just the medium lasers at that commando, and that's gonna be a -2 because of our range. We've got the same movement at this point, so that should just be an 11.
All right, I've got a 4 and a 1 for a total of 10 on this. So you hit.
All right, so that's 4 damage to the. Let's see. Center torso.
Okay, you just cored this mech. The armor was stripped away before it pierces on through, and there's sort of a bright flash as the engine starts to fail. But the fail-safes kick in, and there's no like massive fusion explosion. The mech starts to tumble forwards, and you can see as it starts to tumble, it must have reached for the eject lever as sort of at an angle, sort of forward, somewhat kind of toward the town, but not exactly at a bit of an odd angle. Just goes firing out the mech ejection pod,
All right.
and it
Well,
doesn't go
that's
too terribly far before the little parachute thing kicks on and it starts to go towards the ground where it hits and tumbles and skips for a ways. That's never a comfortable ride.
All right.
And let's see, let's go to Finn. A couple flamers are coming at you. Give me 2 defense rolls.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, good. I rolled the same for both. That makes it easy.
Let's roll well this time. This is pilot and reflexes, yes?
Yep.
Thank you! I rolled a 16 on the first one. A 3 and a 6.
Okay, yeah, the
Plus
ones you've been
7.
shooting at, like, its flamer kind of fires wide. It's sweeping across at different angles, but none of it actually coming close to honing in on your position. The other one, though, what was your total?
Well, there we're back to my other rolls. Well, that is an 11.
11.
That's 2 2s on the dice.
Just good enough. The other one's starting to get a beat on you. Not quite got a line on leading you properly. The flames are sort of just passing along your right side. You don't feel the heat just yet.
Right. Cool.
Your turn.
Perfect. Yes. All right. That one that hit me last time. It's gonna go first. Medium laser first. I swear to all that is holy.
This is amazing.
I have amazingly bad rolls tonight. That's a 1 and a 3 on the dice for a 4, plus 5 is 9.
Yeah, I rolled boxcars, so
I swear to God, Cliff. All right.
you're good at
Machine
shooting the
gun
ground.
The
Okay.
ground is
Machine
right
gun time.
now.
The ground should be afraid of me because it's all I can hit. Okay, I rolled 5 and a 2 for 7, plus 5 is 12. Can you not roll boxcars this time?
My total is 12, so you just hit. I thought it was a bad roll for you, but you managed to roll good enough to hit this time. So yeah, finally the machine gun fire stitches in and starts to ping off the back armor of the vehicle. What's the damage?
2.
Yeah, 2 damage. You're blowing off some panels on the armor, and it's starting to pieces are starting to fly off the back of it, but it's still maintaining its speed. Getting around to next round, then the Valkyrie goes, and it's not jumping this time. It sort of moves away with some speed, sort of keeping the torso more angled back towards you, so it's not giving you a back shot. We're gonna go with 2 movement away, so that would put it just the far edge of medium range to the Marauder, and just into long range for John Texas Crow and the Phoenix Hawk. So, Finn, are you keeping up with the vehicles?
Yes.
And just picture getting determined, the Locust sort of hunkering down as its raptor legs are just speeding up as fast as it can.
Yes.
It
Very
stops
much.
and says meep meep, and it gets
All right, then. I guess are you two going to move towards the close with the Valkyrie? Keep where you're at now, or break off and pursue the pack rats?
I am going to say over comms to. I'll say, hey, all right, cowboy, go help her out with the pack rats. I don't like the idea of troop carriers getting into either the base or the town. I got this freaking Valkyrie.
on it.
All right, I'm
And
close
I'm gonna-
to Valkyrie.
It's probably going to
Yeah,
take you a while to
I'm-
pick up
I'm-
speed with your heat issues, unless you've cooled off by now.
You would have cooled off after last round, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you start making speed that direction. You're still not really going to be gaining on them, though, with the speed difference. They're a ways up ahead. You're like, you're not sure if you're going to be able to quite catch up with them. But you can start heading that direction. And then, as the Marauder turns and faces the Valkyrie, are you going to close towards it? Because right now you're, what did I say?
Right
You're
now
at the
I'm
far end of
medium.
medium?
Yeah, I've got 2 movement that I'm going to spend closing directly with it, trying to cut it off. So I want to try. I don't know if that can get me to point blank, but if it can get me to short, good enough.
It'll put you just within short. You'll have to spend a plot point if you want to get to point blank.
Actually, I think I am going to drop that plot point you gave me and angle around it to end up right in its face unexpectedly. Hopefully it was watching the Phoenix Hawk. So yeah, I closed to point blank with it.
Okay, they're going to fire off a salvo of long-range missiles as well as a medium laser at you, so make 2 defense rolls.
Yeah, that
The all-arounds are at a disadvantage.
highly at this range. Hopefully it's enough because I rolled a 10 for that one.
Yeah, I rolled well, with the disadvantage. That does miss.
Right.
But the medium laser does not have a disadvantage.
I have less of one in this case because I rolled a 15.
Okay, 11. So yeah, you managed to avoid its fire as you maneuver up on it and go ahead and unleash your fury.
This is a light mech that just had a Phoenix Hawk suddenly turn tail, and then all of a sudden has a Marauder just suddenly
Looming over it.
looming just over
That
it.
insectoid just monster right there in front of it.
My ranged attacks are going to include the medium lasers and the AC-5. The AC-5 will go first. It is at a bit of a disadvantage. So I will roll this and subtract 3. 10 to hit with the AC-5.
I got a 5 and a 3 plus 6 is 14.
Oh, so that misses. The medium lasers are at no disadvantage whatsoever in that regard, though. So still only a 10, though, thanks to the speed difference.
And I've got a 14. Yeah, so the mech pilot reacts quickly and evades the shots.
I'm also then going to go for a kick.
All right, this is a piloting versus piloting roll on this then.
Yes, it is, and there's no penalty problems here. Wow, 17 to hit.
I got a 10, so that's gonna hit.
Yes.
So that's 5 damage to one of its 2 legs, if I recall correctly.
Correct.
Yeah, roll a d6.
Yeah, let's do that. D6. 1.
All right, that'll be the right leg. Go ahead and give me a crit roll to see if you crit, because you just kicked off all of the armor and 1 point into the internal structure.
All right, do it. Roll high.
How am I doing a crit roll? It's just 2d6?
Get
or is it
2d6,
pilot?
and if you get an 8
Yeah.
or more, it's extra bad for your target.
Sadly, no. 4.
Okay, so yeah, no extra damage effects besides almost destroying the leg with one kick. Reels and nearly falls, but the pilot's pretty skillful. And then I guess up at Finn, who's running to keep up with these things. I'm going to give you a little bit of a twist on this, though. The one that you're shooting at is sort of angling to move towards the base as you're starting to get close to the town.
Mm-hmm.
The other one suddenly veers off and arcs off, heading toward the village itself.
Oh no, we're not having that.
Which one are you going to pursue?
The one going towards the town.
Okay. It's about this time that your comm system self-diagnostics or something managed to clear up whatever the problem was with your transmissions, and it's
thank God.
showing green as online. John Texas Crow, I think you would be still within long range of the Valkyrie at this point, but on the outer edge of it if you wanted to take any parting shots with your large
Oh,
laser.
sure. I might as well take that large laser and see if I can add to the fun. So, 2, 6 plus. So that's -4. So that's just a plus. What's the speed on the Valkyrie? Is it a 3?
Yes.
Okay. So I got a 12.
Nice.
Total of 12.
I got a 4 and a 2, a total of 12 as well. So you hit.
I'm expecting
Okay.
you to
Well,
do
that
that.
would be. I know that's bonus right there.
Yeah.
Let me place that. That would be in the left leg for 3 damage in the left leg.
All
I
right.
want to say I hit. Or is that the right leg?
You hit the right leg.
Bummer.
I didn't actually
that
look up
would've
the
been
chart for what you rolled. I just picked one versus the other depending on the die roll. But yeah, I did say right leg. So
Fair
yeah, the right leg is almost destroyed. The left leg just had almost all of its armor stripped off by a medium laser blow. And at that point, yeah, the only one of the vehicles is within range of firing at Finn with a flamer. So make a defense roll, Finn. You're looking at an 11 for their shot against you.
All right, 2d6 plus. I rolled a 17. 10,
There.
6 and a 4 on the dice.
So yeah, you
so.
easily avoid the
Yes.
incoming fire.
That's okay. That just means I'm gonna miss both of my attacks.
Oh, cool.
Well,
Yeah.
now's the time to roll them. Let's see how that goes.
Alrighty.
Starting with the medium laser.
Medium laser first, yes. I rolled an 11 this time.
I rolled a 1 and a 2, so maybe the luck is
Yay!
turning the other way. So I've got a total of 7. So that hits for how much?
Take that,
2.
pack rat.
All right, 2. Yeah, the laser strikes the back, the rear armor, which kind of glows brightly, and it starts to leave behind globs of melted armor behind it in its wake. Try not to step in those. And then following that up with a machine gun fire.
Oh, yes. Hey, I'm still... It's continuing. That's math. That's what that is. 14.
All right, my 4 and a 2 add up to 10 with a bonus, so the machine guns are on target as well. Stitching at the back
Another
of the
2.
armor, blowing off more chunks. You don't think you're penetrating through the back yet, but it looks like it's pretty well shredded back there. This thing's not going to be able to take much more of this. One more round of fire like that ought to finish it off.
Hey, let's thank Tom Fritchman for his super chat.
Oh yeah,
$4.99.
super chat being
All
Mech
right.
Jack.
Thank you.
So, yep, thank you very much.
Woo. Very good. Thank you.
And we're coming up on the end of what we normally reserve to the end of our post show, and we're still kind of in the middle of the mech combat, but I'm going to GM plot point resolve this a bit. So Finn, you continue on, fire off some more shots, and you actually shoot with a medium laser, and your machine guns fire on target like before, and you end up shredding this pack rat, which, as you see it like sort of fall apart and explode, the bullet stitching in, there are people packed into this thing wearing body armor that are just chewed up and tossed around like they're nothing under your onslaught. It's a bit unsettling, but then you also realize these people were planning to go do mean things to people, unarmed civilians that you care about.
We'll deal with that
The
later.
other pack rat has escaped your vengeance, and it has been shot at in the back some with your machine guns, but was fairly intact. Is speeding off towards your base, packed full of enemy infantry. The commando lies in ruins, its pilot having ejected. The Valkyrie that you're facing basically turns towards both of you and like holds up its hands forward, and then you get something in your sensors tells you that the mech's fusion generator is in the process of shutting down. They just surrendered. That's a relief. However, you're picking up new sensor contacts on the far edge of your sensors. It appears that this was not the whole force, but some initial force. You don't know what's coming yet, but some of the readings are showing up a bit heavier than what you saw before. And we'll leave it on that cliffhanger.
Great.
Okay.
But we'll call the actual adventure to be complete. Next time it'll sort of be a new adventure dealing with the next phase of the threat. So I am going to give off experience points, 2 XP this time, because it's sort of a partial success, I'd say. You may spend that on your attributes and skills if you like. Again, we're house ruling that you can't spend XP directly on hardware points.
Okay.
And with that, we'll call it a session. We didn't leave much time for the post show here, but do you mind if we take an extra 5 just to hang out a little bit afterwards?
Good to me.
I can do 5.
All right. Cool. Wow, that was fun. I was a little bit worried that the 2 light mechs against you, along with the 2 vehicles, would be just like not enough of a threat to be interesting. But
the dice proved otherwise.
Having this sort of
right.
mixed objectives with you having to think about protecting some things back home with these faster vehicles full of infantry that are not as much of a direct combat threat themselves, but something you want to stop from getting where they're going.
Oh, yeah. Finn, honestly, when they split off, like, that was never even a question for Finn. Like, nope, people.
Nah, shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Like, my family is there. Not even that. Nope.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how those complications play out and how you deal with what might be coming next.
Yay.
Oh, boy.
That sounds fun.
So I think this is our first serious mech combat in the campaign. There was some shooting and stuff before, and yeah, I guess the last one was serious, but this being the full, like, everyone of the players is strapped into a cockpit, and you're dealing with a full opposition force that's similar size, at least in numbers. What do you all think about that? I guess we'll start with Cade being probably the biggest expert on the BattleTech side of things.
I don't know about that, but I'm a nerd at least. But I think, okay, so one thing about BattleTech, and it's always been this way, is that you really can't take any matchup for granted, because the dice will always, the dice in every permutation of tabletop BattleTech, the dice bring its own life, and everybody's got a story of the biggest assault mech who got winged by the littlest tank or unit and got disabled on the first turn. Everybody's got that story, and so I appreciate tonight that we got into this, and it's like, to me, I'm going up and looking and going, okay, well, we faced a 30-ton mech, a 25-ton mech, with a behemoth of a 75-ton mech and a 45-ton mech, and it's still going to be a little bit of a slugfest, and so yeah, I mean, it's that element's there, and I enjoyed it, and so now it really, honestly, like, anytime you enter combat in any system, there needs to be that element of danger, or else it's just boring. And so to me, in this system, I feel like there's going to be that element of risk involved with mech combat, any matchup. So yeah.
And Trevor in the chat was saying, it's BattleTech. Dice can have a Locust take down an Atlas.
Not with the way I've been rolling.
Well, yeah, it does mean the dice have to be in your favor, being the Locust pilot, but I thought that was an interesting comment, along with what you said, Kate. This being a dramatically different, simplified system to represent BattleTech, I think it carries through the feel of playing BattleTech really well. What do you think, Trav? You've played a bit as well, I think.
I'd agree. It abstracts a lot of things from the tabletop system over the years of just the actual tactical game. It doesn't feel anything like original Mechwarrior. I will say that was almost the same system as, if not exactly the same system as, like Shadowrun Edition 1, the old FASA game. Total War and Alpha Strike are the more recent comparisons. It's so much more abstract than they are, and I think in this case, with CGL applying the queue system here, they really do want to focus as much on the narrative play with it, and just sort of not bothering with the fiddly details otherwise. But it still feels like mech combat from the old board game version. So
yeah, I thought that narrative side shined really well when we had Finn chasing after the pack rats. Well, you two, John Texas Crow and Ian Warden, were sort of engaging in the classic mech slugfest kind of combat. Finn was off doing a car chase with her mech. And I thought that was pretty cool. We had the vehicles being chased, shooting back behind. The objective not necessarily being like the who can beat each other up thing, but whether or not, you can stop them in time for them to do whatever they're doing. And the question was answered with, well, partly.
If I can hit.
Yep. Yep.
The answer was if the dice will cooperate.
I will say this is the only version of Mechwarrior that I've ever played that lends itself to theater of the mind play. You don't have to have a hex map. It's helpful. You don't have to have it.
Right.
I've done a few attempts at doing a battletech style role-playing game in the past over the years, and just none of them were terribly successful. I think most of the reason being because none of my other players cared that much about battletech, so that's part of it. But yeah, having that break between regular role play and the mechs, it always seemed so separated. And here it just seems like we're playing the same game, even though there are somewhat different rules for mech combat. So,
right.
I'm pretty happy with it so far. I've been having fun as a GM. So,
and one thing I appreciated about the combat, and I need to work on doing this more, is I appreciated when Trav would give calls and cowboy, can you do this, and and just kind of actually, because sometimes when we enter into mech combat, it just becomes it becomes kind of very tactical and mechanical, and so that's one thing for me is I'm thinking, okay, I need to really work on the narrative part when we're in mech combat and kind of just say, okay,
the role playing part.
Right, exactly. I mean, we're here for
to ROLL playing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That and so I feel like that's something that I want to look and think, okay, how can I be a better role player instead of just a player who's rolling dice? So
I find that in almost like literally almost every single system I've ever played, that's always a part of. It's a big hang up in a lot of systems just because how
well it is, yeah.
Combat takes, but when you think about it, combat moves very quickly for the characters, but for the players it can take hours. So that's also another hang up. My hang up is I don't quite have Finn's character locked in my head yet. It's taking me a long time to get in her head for some reason. Maybe I just need to find an accent like one of my other characters. I have another character that I was like, in episode 2, I was like, you know what? I gave her red hair. She's Irish. I've been practicing an Irish accent for another project. She's got an Irish accent. And then the character just kind of became that.
I think in my mind,
I need to find one for Finn.
See, I think Finn's accent, the way I hear it, is exasperated. Just constantly frustrated.
Oh, yes.
It's true.
Oh yes, that is Finn to a T. Like that entire time during the bar when that flashback scene we did, she was like, "Don't drag me into this," and rolling her eyes, and like, y'all are picking a fight that doesn't need to be picked. Don't drag me into this.
They took a cowboy's hat. I had to do that.
That's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the one time, the time where I had the NPC directly engage with you was when
I know
you froze up and
my internet just the Wi-Fi completely just cut out the Wi-Fi entirely.
That's okay. I was really glad you did that because your internet cut out. I got knocked out with 2 beer steins. So.
Right. Good times. Good
Covered
times.
with beer is gonna be
good times. We're going to do this again next week, Tuesday, same time. So please join us. And if you're available on Sundays, we also have just sort of a gaming weekly variety talk show thing that we do every week. We've been doing it for a while. We should have a name for it. Oh, SCN Live, I guess, for now. The reason I'm vacillating on the name is because we're talking about rolling it out as an audio podcast, and coming up with a name for that is not also SCN Live has been fun. By fun, I mean not fun. Naming things is hard. With that, let's go ahead and sign off. Would any of you like to tell our audience about any upcoming events that you're involved in? You'd like to plug something?
I got nothing.
Actually, Friday night, and I mean, if you haven't been watching, but Friday night we're doing our season finale of my Dungeon World campaign that I'm in over on twitch.tv/LucasGVariety. It'll be, oh shoot, what time do we play? I think it's the same time we do this one. What time zones times?
So 8 Central.
I think.
Right?
I'm gonna double check the time real quick. We don't have an ending time on that one because it's our season finale. We moved it to Friday so we can go long.
What channel and platform is this on?
It's over on twitch.tv/LucasGVariety. And it's just the name Lucas, Lucas, G, Variety, Variety. And that will be at... Give me a time. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which makes it 7 Central. I think we start 8 o'clock Eastern.
All right, awesome. We'll check that out.
Google to make it your time.
That sounds good.
Lucas G Variety.
Oh, Lucas G
Variety.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm also on a D&D stream over there every other Thursday night. Not this Thursday, but I don't even know when we'll play that one next. Holidays are weird. But yeah,
Definitely.
Friday we're doing that. It's gonna be great. I play the Reaper, who is basically an agent of death, and there's an inter-character romance that I'm kind of taking and making an audio drama book thing that will eventually be a thing. It's inspired a book, so I'm really enjoying that one.
Awesome. Well,
Really?
check those out. What about you two, Cade or Trav? Anything you'd like to promote?
Nothing this week.
General well-being and wellness.
Yes, more of that all around, please. Would be great.
Insanity. Yeah.
Oh, pass some of that my way, please.
I don't remember what that's like, so I'm just gonna pass.
I will take it.
Well,
Or serotonin if you have it.
let's hope for plenty of that
Yeah.
over the course of the week before we see you next. And thank you so much to those of you who joined us live, and to those of you who are joining us dead in the future. I mean, not live. That's the wrong term. Maybe we're dead and you're alive in the future. But thank you for watching.
Time travel is
Getting worse.
Please check out worldbuilders.org, fantastic charity. We're drawing attention to that and passing along all of these super chats to raise money for that because they help out a lot of people, and it's a great charity. So check that out. And with that, we will sign off and see you next week, Tuesday.
Same bad
Happy
time,
trails.
same bad channel.